a wonderful organization, and it is one of the pioneers to the downtown east side, to recognizing the people that are down here, homeless or housed, as people who really, really need a hand, a helping hand. And I think the diversity that St. James provides is very unique, and I think it supports the clients in the downtown east side very, very well.
Actually, I came from Toronto, and I left a husband and 2 kids, and I came out here and I became a junkie. Not wanting to become a junkie, but I became one, right? And I ended up in jail for quite a while, like in and out, in and out. And then my son overdosed and died on a heroin overdose, and that's when I came to Powell Place. And today I'm clean and sober because of these people. They have an excellent outreach program. They take me to all my medical appointments, and they're just great. It's just like a family atmosphere here.
Safe. I felt so safe. Well, I knew there was at least 3-4 doors to go through, and so I sort of felt my children's father couldn't get in, and so I had a safe feeling, and the staff were always ready to help me, and they provided me with resources and to be able to find a home. They gave me applications for BC housing, and so within a month and a half I was in my own place already.
Clients come here from all different walks of life, and crises happen to people. There's many different reasons why people become homeless, and I know there's a lot of stereotypes around drug users, and the majority of them are not, and different reasons, evictions, sometimes fleeing, or crises. They could have deaths and trauma in their life that may cause them to be homeless.
I've never been in a shelter before, and I was fortunate enough to come to this one because they've been very, very good to me. And well, I was downstairs for a month, and then they gave me an extension while I was waiting for my pensions to come in. And in the meantime, they told me they had an apartment for me upstairs, which was good. And so that gives me a chance to focus and find something I want instead of having to desperately look for something within 30 days and then have to look again.
There are a lot of invisible homeless people that we don't know are homeless because they're well dressed and they're looking pretty clean and groomed, and they're out there and they don't have a place to stay. And so there's a lot of homeless that we don't see, and then we have the homeless that we do see that are sleeping in store doorways and that sort of thing. I think we're really lucky to have places like St. Elizabeth. There's a huge demand for people to come here. We need another place like this.
Generally, somebody has been referred to home support because they're at risk of losing their housing. So they really need to have someone to come in and have some hands-on support with keeping their place clean enough to meet the standards of the building manager. The buildings that we go into are kind of the last buildings that will give a client an opportunity for housing. So they need that extra bit of support just to stay there, otherwise they would be on the streets. Home support provides clients assistance with cleaning, laundry, meal preparation, and a large part of it is personal care such as bathing, dressing, and medication assistance. And we have a staff of about 60 community healthcare workers, and we provide service for about 600 clients in the downtown east side area.
What we do is we actually help the clients budget their funds. Now, it's actually their income assistance funds, and what we do is we help them pay for their rent, pay for their utilities and everything and such. And after that, what we do is we help them budget their funds according to how the ministry wants them to be budgeted.
There are going to be individuals that would make poor choices and choose to spend their issue money on drugs and alcohol. I think that there's people who just sort of get frustrated by the fact that they can't buy themselves anything nice and might go out and buy themselves a pair of shoes that's sort of not going to fit into their budget. And it depends completely on the person, but even just sort of basic life necessities are not necessarily the cheapest things to buy nowadays, and especially in the city. It's not a cheap city to live in, so I don't think you can put a blanket statement and say, oh, well, they'd all go buy alcohol or they'd all go buy drugs. they might buy themselves, you know, just something nice, and that would throw them off their budget for the rest of the month.
Oh, I do this job because I like helping people. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy watching them develop from what they are to a better person than what they are now.
There's a lot of good stuff that you can help people accomplish, but it's more of a helping hand than deciding you can change people's lives for them, because it's, you know, you have to enable them to do it for themselves.
Basically, the adult guardianship clients consist of mainly low-income seniors and individuals who have disabilities, or for some reason are not able to manage their own finances, or they're somehow vulnerable in the community. We manage their finances for them. Their bills are paid monthly. We administer funds to them on a weekly or daily basis, and their funds are held in trust.
We don't want to talk about dying and death too much. It's coming now that we're a bit more able to, but it's been a taboo subject, and it's kind of something that's done behind closed doors and in hospitals. And I think people now are realizing that experience, and maybe families of people that are dying realize that going on that journey with them, with the dying person, is important, and it's memories that they're going to carry with them.
Communities need hospices because people don't want to die in hospital, basically. And yet sometimes there are situations where they cannot continue to live at home. There simply aren't the facilities, the amenities to allow them to live at home. It may be something to do with the fact that the person is relatively isolated, they've lived a single life, or they no longer have family around them. Or it may be a situation where, because of some physical disability, some aspect of their disease, they can no longer remain at home to be cared for.
It takes a lot of work for a family to take care of somebody. It takes a huge effort. And families would really love to be able to do that and can't. So we're the other option, where we can take a load off the family. They can still come and be part of the care if they want to do hands-on care and be at that person's bedside all the time. That's great. We'll step in when they can't and give relief to them. So there's not enough hospices. There should be more. But I think we're that kind of middle ground between a hospital palliative unit and home.
Hello, my name is Richard Kerr. I have been a resident of Victory House for 11 years, ever since the building opened. And I feel that Victory House is agreeable to me because I do the residential laundry here for the building. So this gives me an opportunity to have a part-time job again. Without Victory House and St. James, this would not be possible.
Cordova House is a priceless model for living in the downtown east side, because you have the opportunity to spend your money on food instead of drugs and alcohol. It's pretty hectic at times. In the area, the immediate blocks surrounding Cordova House, the shock I'm talking about, the desperation shocked me into cleaning up myself. So that's why I decided to stay here instead of moving out into a subsidized domicile.
Before I came here, I was in the psychiatric unit. And I'll share this quite openly, because I was suicidal. Living for 2 years in a downtown east side hotel, people constantly knocking on doors, constantly noise, constantly being harassed. I wanted death. At least it would be quiet. This organization saved my life, gave back to me my self-worth, my self-respect, and my responsibility for myself.
My philosophy is treating people who are marginalized and need assistance with the utmost dignity and respect. And it's just a passion of mine, and I would imagine anybody you talk to in St. James, that's the reason why they're here. They care about the people that they provide service for.
I hope everybody understands that Victory House is like a brick of gold because it helps so many people at one time.